Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So recently I got a question in the comment section and the person asked if there's another way to sew the bust cups because their sewing machine doesn't have a zigzag stitch. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you 3 ways to make a bust cup without a zigzag stitch. Let's get into this. So here we have the bust cup pattern for method 1. Do the same thing for your pattern. There will be no seam allowance around the fusible fleece. And for the interfacing, there will be seam allowance on the bottom, on the top, and on the sides only. For the fabric and lining, there will be a 1/2 inch seam allowance all around the cup. You can use any type of foam or any type of fusible fleece. In this video, I will be using fusible fleece. Here are the 3 pieces. The first piece, put the glue side up. The second piece, put the glue side up. And the third piece, put the glue side down. Then put a cloth on top and press until all the pieces are glued together. After that, cut out your pieces. For this method, I will be using heavy-duty cotton interfacing. Try not to use the light or the medium weight interfacing. The fusible fleece will be too heavy for it. After I cut my pieces out, sometimes I like to write a 1/2 inch on the interfacing here, here, and here, like this. So I know where the fusible fleece is supposed to lay on the interfacing. Now let's press it till it's all glued together. This is how it's going to look. Before we start sewing, we're going to put in a zipper foot because this right here is too thick. And we're trying to get inside the seam right here. It will be difficult if we use our regular presser foot. Let's sew. This is the stitch right here. Try to make sure the needle doesn't sew on the fusible fleece. If it does sew on it a little, it's okay. Now this is the glue side. You're going to press the interfacing to the fusible fleece till it's glued together. Then sew a 1/4 stitch here on both sides. The next step is to sew the top. If you notice, I put a clip holding the 2 pieces together. It's to keep this part from moving to the front. The fusible fleece is heavy on top. If I let it go, look what it just did. Do you see that? The top piece moved past the bottom piece. And that's what we don't want because when we sew it, we're going to sew on top of the fusible fleece instead of the 1/2 inch seam allowance. So put a clip here so you can control it from moving while you're sewing. Let's sew. To make your cups round, you could use a bust ham. It will make them look nice and pretty. This is the glue side. We're going to press the interfacing to the fusible fleece till it's glued together on both sides, like this. Sew a 1/4 stitch on top here and here. Next, get some fusible bonding web and put it on top like this. Whatever you don't need, just cut it off. Then put it inside of the cup and press it till it's glued together. Make sure it doesn't touch around the seam allowance. This is how the inside of the cup is going to look. Then put your lining and sew a 1/2 inch. After that, flip it over and sew an understitch on top. Here is the bust cup for method 1. Next is method 2. For method 2, we're going to use fusible fleece. You can use any brand. We're going to use 3 pieces. Put the glue side up for the first one, glue side up for the second one, and glue side down for the third one. Then put your patterns on top and cut your pieces out. Next, put your fusible fleece foam on top like this and press it till it's glued together. After that, sew your pieces together. Let's sew. Now, before we move on to the next step, sew on this side a 1/4 stitch on each side of the seam, like this. After that, put a clip on both sides so the seam allowance can line up together like we did in method 1. Here is something to keep in mind. This is the smooth side, so always put the main fabric on this side. And for the other side, that's where you put your lining. Next, put some fusible bonding web on top of the smooth side. Trim off any excess. Then put it inside the cup and make sure it doesn't touch around the seam allowance. After that, take the lining and put it on top and sew a 1/2 inch. Then flip it over and sew an understitch on top. This is the bust cut for method 2. Next up is method 3. So for method 3, we're going to go old school. Let's say none of us have a sewing machine. What are we going to do? Yup, you guessed it. We're going to hand sew it. Let's go. I'm going to show you how to hand sew it the neat way. First, put a clip here and here. Make sure this clip keeps the 2 pieces together and it doesn't move while you're hand sewing. We will make a stitch like this. The 2 pieces have to stay together. Then we're going to stitch again on top of that stitch. Next, we will start making the X. The X can be wide, but not too wide. And the X's have to be close together. If you guys are still here with me, I want to say thank you. Seriously, guys. Thank you to all my supporters who've been liking, writing kind comments, and sharing my tutorials. It means a lot. When you like and share my videos, it helps other creators that want to learn how to do certain things. This community is the best. Keep practicing, everybody. You will get better. Believe in yourself. You got this. Also, I want to give a big shout out to my channel members. If you didn't know, I have a channel membership for people who would like to support me. Channel memberships let your viewers support you by paying monthly. I have one tier for now, and that tier is called Super Supporter. This tier is for someone who would like to support me by helping me buy fabrics, supplies, or even some lunch while I'm sitting editing the videos. You'll get a special kind of badge on your comments to say that you're a channel member. Tier 1 also gets access to members-only community posts where I post things like progress pictures or extra polls, or maybe I will ask you for your opinion on something regarding fashion, or you might just get a picture of my cats. Who knows? If you would like to join, that would be amazing. You can find the join button on the front of my page. I do have more things coming, such as advanced online courses and PDF patterns of my designs. Now, when we get to the end of the cup, we're going to make 2 straight stitches like we did at the beginning. If you notice, it doesn't separate. That's because the X's are right next to each other. Next, write a 1/2 inch all around your cup. Then we're going to put fusible bonding web on top of the fusible fleece. Whatever you don't need, just cut it off. Make sure the fusible fleece does not touch around the seam allowance. Then take your lining and put it right side to right side. After that, sew a 1/2 inch. Then flip it over and sew an understitch. This is how the bust cup is going to look. If this video was helpful, let me know in the comments. There's more videos coming, so stay tuned. Please give this video a like and share it so it can help other creators who want to learn how to make bust cups. If you're interested in making different types of bust cups, then click or tap on the screen right here and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to practice, practice, practice. Bye, everybody.